Shane Devon Tamura has been identified as the suspect in a shooting that killed 4 people at an office building in Midtown Manhattan on July 29, 2025. The incident occurred during extreme heat, with temperatures soaring above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Authorities have not released a motive for the attack. Witnesses described the scene as shocking and chaotic. The NYPD is investigating the incident. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is considering a plan to annex territories in Gaza if Hamas doesn't agree to a ceasefire. This comes after the U.S. cut short ceasefire talks, citing Hamas's lack of cooperation. Netanyahu blamed Hamas for the breakdown in negotiations and stated that alternative options are being considered to bring hostages home and secure lasting peace. Sean Diddy Combs' attorneys have asked a federal judge to release him from jail while awaiting sentencing on October 3rd. They argue that there are exceptional reasons for his release, citing the unique circumstances of his case and the fact that he has been incarcerated for over 10 months. Combs was convicted of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, but acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy charges. His lawyers propose that he be released on $50 million bail and reside in his Miami home while awaiting sentencing. A Spanish Air Force pilot performed a maneuver to avoid a flock of birds during the International Air Festival in Gijón, Spain, on July 29, 2025. The incident occurred as the pilot was flying a fighter jet at low altitude, and the bird strike could have caused significant damage or even loss of control. Fortunately, the pilot successfully avoided the birds, showcasing their exceptional skills and training. The seaside resort of Les Sables-d'Olonne, France, has implemented a ban against tourists frolicking around town in their swimwear. Municipal police officers are empowered to enforce the rule, with violators facing up to $175 in fines. The town's campaign is accompanied by the slogan, "In Les Sables-d'Olonne, respect doesn't go on holiday." Flyers displaying the rule remind tourists that their beaches stretch 7 miles, allowing tourists to sport their suits there, but not in the town. Naomi, the WWE Women's World Champion, paid tribute to Hulk Hogan's lasting impact on professional wrestling after his death at 71. She remembered Hogan as a performer who opened up opportunities for others and expressed her condolences to his family. Vice President J.D. Vance warned that anyone who opposed President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill should face consequences ahead of the 2026 midterm elections. The measure includes key provisions to permanently establish individual and business tax breaks included in Trump's 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. All Democrats, along with 5 Republicans in both the House and the Senate, voted against the massive tax and domestic policy bill. However, Trump signed it into law on July 4th. Vance visited Pennsylvania's 8th District on July 16th, praising the measure and offering support for the district's Republican representative, Representative Rob Bresnahan. A spokesperson for Vance doubled down on the vice president's remarks, pointing to a new Wall Street Journal poll that found 63% of voters hold a negative view towards Democrats. Republican Senate candidate Mike Rogers says President Donald Trump's endorsement gives him a clear shot as he aims to flip a Democrat-held seat in battleground Michigan in next year's midterm elections. Rogers, a former rep, won the 2024 GOP Senate nomination but narrowly lost to Rep. Alyssa Slotkin in last November's election. With Trump's backing, Rogers believes his fundraising will improve, allowing him to build a stronger team and support across the state. The federal government has frozen over $100 million in funding for Duke Health, the medical arm of Duke University in North Carolina, due to allegations of civil rights violations. Secretaries Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Linda McMahon cited Title VI of the Civil Rights Act and Section 1557 of the Affordable Care Act, which prohibit discrimination based on race, color, or national origin. The secretaries alleged that Duke Health engaged in illegal and wrongful racial preferences in hiring, student admissions, and patient care. To return to good standing, Duke Health must review its policies and procedures, take immediate action, and provide verifiable assurances to Washington that it will operate in good faith. If the issues are not resolved within 6 months, the federal government may commence enforcement proceedings. Nigel Farage demanded an apology from Technology Secretary Peter Kyle after being accused of siding with sexual predators amid clashes over a new online safety law. The Reform UK leader said the accusations were disgusting and below the belt. The Online Safety Act has sparked heated debates in the UK over freedom of speech concerns, with some arguing it oversteps and risks violating free speech by forcing social media companies to censor anti-government content. A Michigan Democratic effort would open up ICE agents to state prosecution if they conduct immigration enforcement operations while wearing masks that conceal their identity. The bill's sponsor, State Representative Betsy Coffia, Traverse City, said Friday, ICE's masking up mirror the tactics of secret police in authoritarian regimes and strays from the norms that define legitimate local law enforcement. Toronto Blue Jays outfielder George Springer was hit in the helmet with a 96-mile-per-hour fastball during a game against the Baltimore Orioles on July 28, 2025. Springer walked off the field with help from trainers after being tended to by staff. The incident occurred in the top of the 9th inning, with 2 outs away from an Orioles victory. Blue Jays manager John Schneider hinted that the situation could have been much worse. Springer has had a resurgence this season in Toronto, batting .291 and driving in 57 runs. NASCAR driver Stewart Friesen suffered injuries after a scary crash during a Super Dirt Car Series race on Monday night at Autodrome Drummond in Quebec, Canada. Friesen's vehicle went airborne and burst into flames after hitting the outside wall. He was transported to a nearby hospital where CT scans cleared him of head, neck, or spine injuries. However, he has an unstable, open-book pelvic fracture and a fractured right leg that will require surgery. Cincinnati business owners denounced the viral downtown beatdown, calling it a hate crime and expressing disappointment that bystanders filmed instead of intervening. The assault occurred outside a popular nightclub on Saturday morning, leaving several people injured. Authorities have charged at least 5 suspects in the attack, but officials have not released their identities or charges. The incident has sparked outrage among residents, with some calling for increased public safety measures. Tom Homan, the Trump administration's border czar, defended Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) deportation efforts amid a Fox News poll showing nearly half of respondents believe the agency has been too aggressive. According to the poll, 49% feel ICE has been too aggressive in its efforts to deport illegal immigrants, while a quarter, 24%, say it has not been aggressive enough. Homan attributed the shift in public opinion to a false narrative being fed by the media, stating that 70% of those arrested are criminals and the remaining 30% include national security threats and those removed upon a judge's request after receiving due process. Legendary rocker Ozzy Osbourne will be honored with a lively procession through the streets of Birmingham on Wednesday afternoon, following his death at 76. The hearse and accompanying vehicles will make their way down Broad Street from 1 p.m. to the Black Sabbath Bridge and Bench, where thousands of fans have left heartfelt messages and floral tributes in recent days. A live brass band performance by local musicians from Boston. Brass will bring a final musical moment to honor Osbourne's extraordinary life and legacy. Kim Yo-jong, the powerful sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, warned the United States not to try to restart talks centered on getting North Korea to give up its nuclear program. She stated that relations between President Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un are not bad, but added Pyongyang would view any attempt to pressure North Korea to denuclearize as Nothing but a mockery. The North Korean dictator's sister said that the country's nuclear arsenal has sharply increased since Trump and Kim last spoke, and the pair would not meet for a summit again if denuclearization was on the table. A House committee met with stakeholders to address the rise of anti-Semitic violence in the U.S., following recent attacks in Boulder, Colorado, and Washington, D.C. The roundtable focused on improving interagency coordination, intelligence sharing, training, and enforcement to prevent and respond to anti-Semitic violence. Anti-Semitic incidents reached a new high in 2024, with 9,354 reported cases, a 5% increase from the previous year. The committee's discussion highlighted concerns over extremist rhetoric spreading on college campuses and social media, as well as homegrown and foreign-influenced extremism. The U.S.-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, GHF, has delivered over 97 million meals to Gazans since May, with zero diversion to Hamas. The organization has been criticized by the UN for its use of armed security and bypassing the traditional aid system. GHF spokesperson Chapin Fay says the group's mission is to feed the people of Gaza in a way that prevents Hamas from stealing or diverting aid. Despite criticism, GHF continues to adapt and improve its distributions, including implementing a red light, green light system to indicate whether distribution sites are open. The organization is set to deliver its 100 millionth meal later this week. Off-duty NYPD officer Didarul Islam, 36, was fatally shot on Monday evening while providing security at a Midtown Manhattan office building. He leaves behind his pregnant wife and 2 children. The gunman, identified as 27-year-old Shane Tamura, also killed 3 others before turning the gun on himself. President Donald Trump called the shooting tragic and expressed sympathies to the victims' families. New York City Mayor Eric Adams ordered flags lowered to half-staff in honor of Islam. Legendary musician Phil Collins has been hospitalized for knee surgery but is not in hospice care as previously rumored. Collins's representative confirmed that the 74-year-old Genesis frontman is recovering well and will continue to focus on his health. The rumors of Collins being admitted to hospice care come after he opened up about his health challenges earlier this year, including a spinal injury that led to lasting nerve damage. Collins has not released any new music since 2002, but continues to perform with Genesis. Late-night host Stephen Colbert mocked the Paramount-Skydance major on Monday, taking aim at their new stock ticker symbol, PSKY, with P-jokes. The move comes after his show was canceled by the network, following a settlement with President Donald Trump over an edit in a 60 Minutes interview. Colbert also reacted to Trump's recent remarks about ABC and NBC's viewership, saying, "Come on in, Jimmy and Jimmy," referring to fellow late-night hosts Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel. Pastor Corey Brooks, founder of Project Hood, argues that trade jobs can provide a pathway to opportunity for underserved communities. He notes that the advent of AI has decimated many coding jobs, but has not affected manual labor jobs, such as welding, plumbing, and electrical work. Brooks believes that vocational training should be emphasized alongside college degrees, citing the need for hundreds of thousands of tradespeople in various industries. He shares his own experiences with training individuals from underserved communities in electrician work, and highlights the potential for these individuals to improve their lives through honest work. PayPal and Venmo have rolled out AI-powered scam alerts for friends and family payments, designed to warn users before money leaves their account. The system uses machine learning models that analyze billions of data points to detect new scam patterns. If a payment seems suspicious, the system will interrupt the transaction with a tailored alert. In high-risk cases, PayPal may even block the payment automatically. To stay safe beyond the AI-powered scam alerts, users should create strong passwords, review social media privacy settings, monitor their credit and financial accounts, keep devices and apps updated, be cautious on public Wi-Fi, watch for phishing and fake messages, and use secure payment methods. Nostalgic reflections about flying in its early days are taking off on social media, with passengers reminiscing about the golden age of air travel. This era, which spanned from the 1950s to the 1970s, was characterized by stylish uniforms, real food served on fine china, and a more personalized experience for travelers. Experts say that this nostalgia is not just about the past, but also serves as a commentary on the current state of air travel, which has become increasingly commercialized and impersonal.